What if the health rules you've been following for decades are actually wrong, and the so-called bad habits you've been avoiding could add years to your life? I'm 83 years old with perfect health markers, and I'm going to share the 5 controversial habits my doctors initially warned me against, but now admit are keeping me healthier than people 20 years younger. And habit number 3 was so controversial that 3 different doctors told me to stop. But research from Harvard proved them all wrong, and it's now the habit my cardiologist credits with saving my heart. When I turned 75, my doctor reviewed my lifestyle and said I was doing everything wrong, eating foods I shouldn't, refusing to follow standard advice, and breaking health rules constantly. 8 years later, my blood work is flawless. I take 0 medications, and that same doctor now asks me to speak to his other patients about my habits. Habit 1. Eating whole eggs daily, including the yolks. For decades, doctors told everyone to avoid egg yolks because of cholesterol concerns, but I've eaten 2 to 3 whole eggs every single morning for 40 years without exception. The cholesterol heart disease hypothesis dominated medical thinking from the 1960s through early 2000s, leading to widespread recommendations to limit or eliminate egg consumption. Harvard Medical School's landmark research involving over 200,000 participants over decades completely overturned these egg cholesterol fears, conclusively showing that dietary cholesterol from foods like eggs has minimal impact on blood cholesterol levels for the vast majority of people. The research demonstrated that eggs provide essential nutrients including choline for brain health and memory function, lutein and zeaxanthin for eye health and macular degeneration prevention, high-quality complete protein with all essential amino acids, vitamin D for bone health and immunity, and B vitamins critical for energy production that seniors desperately need but often lack. Eggs are arguably nature's most perfect food, containing virtually every nutrient your body needs in highly bioavailable forms your body can actually use. The protein in eggs is considered the gold standard against which all other proteins are measured, with a biological value of 100, meaning your body can utilize nearly all of it for building and repairing tissues. For seniors, this high-quality protein is absolutely critical for maintaining muscle mass, preventing frailty, supporting immune function, and maintaining independence. Studies from the Mayo Clinic show that seniors who consume adequate high-quality protein, particularly from sources like eggs, maintain significantly more muscle mass, better physical function, faster recovery from illness, and lower mortality rates compared to those who avoid these foods based on outdated cholesterol fears. The yolk specifically contains the majority of the egg's nutrients, so eating only egg whites means discarding the most nutritious part. My doctor warned me repeatedly for years about my daily egg consumption until my cholesterol tests came back perfect time after time. Now he eats 3 eggs himself every morning and actively recommends them to his senior patients who need protein. Avoiding eggs means missing out on one of nature's most complete, affordable, and convenient protein sources available, leading to inadequate protein intake, accelerated muscle loss and frailty, critical nutrient deficiencies affecting brain and eye health, and unnecessarily complicated meal planning when eggs provide such simple nutrition. The cost of avoiding eggs is high, while the supposed risk has been proven non-existent for most people. Eat 2 to 3 whole eggs daily, cooked any way you prefer, including scrambled, boiled, poached, or fried in butter or olive oil. Make eggs a non-negotiable part of your morning routine, the same way brushing your teeth is non-negotiable. Buy them in bulk, keep them refrigerated, and prepare them simply. Stop avoiding eggs based on outdated, disproven advice. Start eating this perfect protein source tomorrow morning without guilt. Habit 2. Drinking 2 to 3 cups of coffee daily. Were you told to avoid coffee because it's supposedly bad for your heart, makes you jittery and anxious, dehydrates you, or interferes with nutrient absorption? For decades, coffee was demonized by health authorities as an unhealthy vice to be eliminated or severely limited. Mayo Clinic's extensive research involving hundreds of thousands of participants across multiple continents shows that moderate coffee consumption, defined as 2 to 4 cups daily, reduces all-cause mortality risk by up to 18%, lowers Parkinson's disease risk by a remarkable 25%, reduces type 2 diabetes risk significantly with each additional cup consumed, protects against liver disease including cirrhosis and liver cancer, contains powerful antioxidants and polyphenols that fight inflammation and oxidative stress and may reduce Alzheimer's disease risk, according to emerging research. The evidence supporting coffee's health benefits is now overwhelming and undeniable. Coffee is one of the richest sources of antioxidants in the typical American diet, often providing more antioxidants than fruits and vegetables combined simply because consumption levels are higher. These antioxidants, particularly chlorogenic acid and caffeic acid, neutralize harmful free radicals, reduce inflammation throughout your body, protect your DNA from damage, and support healthy aging at the cellular level. The caffeine in coffee provides genuine cognitive benefits beyond just alertness, including improved memory consolidation, enhanced focus and attention, better reaction times, and protection against cognitive decline. Research from Johns Hopkins shows that regular coffee consumers have better cognitive function in their senior years, slower rates of cognitive decline, and significantly lower dementia risk compared to non-coffee drinkers. The neuroprotective effects appear to result from both the caffeine and the polyphenol compounds working synergistically. Darla, a 79-year-old from Montana, avoided coffee her entire adult life because multiple doctors told her it was unhealthy for her heart and would worsen her anxiety. After reviewing recent research with a new physician, she started drinking 2 cups daily, and her energy, mental focus, and mood improved noticeably within weeks. Avoiding coffee means missing out on significant protective benefits against neurodegenerative diseases like Parkinson's and Alzheimer's, type 2 diabetes, liver disease, and premature death that coffee consumption uniquely provides through its complex combination of beneficial compounds. The decades of avoiding coffee based on unfounded fears represent missed opportunities for disease prevention and cognitive protection. Drink 2 to 3 cups of coffee daily, preferably before 2 p.m. to avoid any potential sleep disruption, with minimal added sugar and dairy if you tolerate it. Choose quality coffee, brew it fresh, and enjoy it without guilt as part of your healthy morning routine. If you've been avoiding coffee based on outdated advice, start enjoying it again tomorrow. The science strongly and consistently supports its remarkable benefits. Habit 3. Taking 20 to 30-minute afternoon naps. Most people think napping during the day is lazy, a sign you're not healthy or vigorous enough, or evidence of poor nighttime sleep. But my daily afternoon nap is what my cardiologist now credits with my exceptional heart health and longevity. American culture stigmatizes napping as something only children or sick people do, yet research consistently shows profound health benefits. Research from Johns Hopkins and Harvard Medical School demonstrates that regular short naps of 20 to 30 minutes reduce heart attack risk by an astounding 37%. Improve cognitive function and memory consolidation significantly, enhance mood and reduce stress hormone levels, boost immune function and disease resistance, increase afternoon productivity and alertness, and lower blood pressure naturally. Mediterranean cultures, where afternoon siestas are traditional, have notably lower cardiovascular disease rates, and research suggests the napping habit contributes significantly to this protection. Your body has natural circadian rhythms that include an afternoon dip in alertness approximately 7 to 8 hours after waking, typically between 1 p.m. and 3 p.m. This isn't laziness or poor health, but rather a biological reality built into human physiology. Fighting this natural tiredness with caffeine and willpower creates chronic stress, keeps cortisol elevated when it should decrease, prevents the restorative processes that occur during brief daytime sleep, and ultimately damages your health. Studies from the Mayo Clinic show that short afternoon naps allow your cardiovascular system to rest, reducing the workload on your heart, lowering blood pressure temporarily, which provides cumulative benefits, reducing inflammation markers, and giving your body a chance to perform cellular repair and immune system strengthening. The nap duration is critical because naps longer than 30 minutes allow you to enter deep sleep stages, causing grogginess upon waking and potentially interfering with nighttime sleep. For 30 years, I've taken a 25-minute nap every single afternoon after lunch without guilt, apology, or concern about what others think. My heart health, resting blood pressure, and stress markers are all exceptional for my age, and recent research has now scientifically proven exactly why this habit works. Fighting natural afternoon tiredness with caffeine and forcing yourself to remain alert creates chronic stress, elevates cortisol continuously, damages cardiovascular health over time, impairs cognitive function despite feeling alert, and increases your risk of heart disease and early death. The cultural pressure to never rest during daylight hours is literally killing people who fight their biology. Take a 20 to 30-minute nap in the early afternoon between 1 p.m. and 3 p.m., setting an alarm to prevent oversleeping into deep sleep stages. Find a quiet, dark space, lie down or recline comfortably, and allow yourself to drift off without guilt. Even if you don't fall fully asleep, the quiet rest provides benefits. Stop fighting your body's natural rest signals and protective mechanisms. Embrace the afternoon nap and protect your heart starting today. Habit 4. Eating full-fat dairy instead of low-fat or fat-free. For 40 years, health authorities told everyone to eat only low-fat or fat-free dairy products to reduce saturated fat intake and protect heart health. But I've always eaten full-fat butter, cheese, whole milk, and yogurt without restriction. The low-fat diet revolution began in the 1970s and 1980s based on incomplete science and became dogma despite limited evidence supporting it. Harvard Medical School and Mayo Clinic studies conducted over the past decade show that full-fat dairy provides significantly better satiety that prevents overeating and snacking between meals, contains fat-soluble vitamins A, D, E, and K that absolutely require dietary fat for proper absorption and utilization, includes conjugated linoleic acid with potential anti-cancer and metabolism-boosting properties, and actually correlates with lower obesity rates and reduced diabetes risk compared to low-fat dairy consumption in multiple large population studies. The low-fat dairy recommendation was based on flawed assumptions that have not held up under rigorous scientific scrutiny. When food manufacturers remove fat from dairy products to create low-fat or fat-free versions, they must compensate for the lost flavor, texture, and satisfaction by adding sugar, artificial sweeteners, thickeners, stabilizers, and other additives that may be far worse for your health than the natural fats they removed. Full-fat dairy keeps you satisfied for hours, stabilizing your blood sugar and preventing the constant hunger and cravings that lead to overeating processed foods. The natural fats in dairy are not the villains they were made out to be. Research from Johns Hopkins shows that people who consume full-fat dairy tend to weigh less, have better metabolic health markers, and have lower rates of diabetes compared to those consuming low-fat alternatives, directly contradicting decades of official dietary advice. The fats in dairy, include medium-chain triglycerides and other fatty acids that may actually boost metabolism and support healthy weight management. Ramona, a 76-year-old from Nevada, followed low-fat diet advice faithfully for 30 years, eating fat-free yogurt and skim milk while constantly battling hunger. Within 3 months of switching to full-fat versions, she lost 12 pounds without trying, her energy stabilized completely, and her constant hunger between meals disappeared. Eating low-fat dairy removes the beneficial natural fats your body needs, reduces satiety dramatically leading to overeating and weight gain, removes fat-soluble vitamins or prevents their absorption, and often means consuming significantly more sugar, artificial ingredients and additives added to improve taste and texture after fat removal. The low-fat dairy experiment has been a comprehensive failure, contributing to obesity and metabolic disease rather than preventing it. Switch to full-fat versions of butter, cheese, yogurt, whole milk and cream, eating reasonable portions based on hunger and satisfaction rather than arbitrary serving sizes. Choose quality dairy from grass-fed sources when possible. Avoid products with added sugars or excessive ingredients, and trust your body's satiety signals. The low-fat diet experiment failed spectacularly. Return to full-fat dairy and experience the difference in hunger, satisfaction, and health within weeks. Habit 5. Not exercising every single day. Do you feel guilty on days you don't exercise, thinking you should push through regardless of how tired you feel, how sore your muscles are, or what your body is telling you? The fitness industry and health authorities have created a culture where daily exercise is considered mandatory for good health, and rest days are viewed as weakness or lack of commitment. Research from the Mayo Clinic and National Institute on Aging shows that rest and recovery days are absolutely essential for muscle repair and growth, prevent overtraining injuries and chronic inflammation, especially critical in seniors, allow the immune system to strengthen and recover, reduce systemic inflammation that exercise temporarily increases, and actually improve long-term exercise adherence, consistency, and results because you avoid burnout and injury. The idea that more exercise is always better is not supported by science and can be actively harmful. Exercise creates controlled damage and stress to your muscles, joints, and cardiovascular system. The actual improvements in strength, endurance, and fitness don't occur during exercise, but rather during rest periods when your body repairs the damage and adapts to become stronger. Without adequate rest, you're continuously breaking down tissues without allowing proper rebuilding, leading to chronic inflammation, persistent fatigue, increased injury risk, suppressed immune function, and paradoxically worse fitness outcomes despite more exercise volume. Studies from Johns Hopkins show that seniors who exercise intensely 3 to 4 days weekly with complete rest days have better strength gains, better cardiovascular improvements, fewer injuries, better immune function, and better long-term adherence compared to those who exercise daily without adequate recovery. The rest days are when the magic actually happens, not the exercise days. I exercise intensely 3 to 4 days weekly with genuine effort and focus, and rest completely the other days without any guilt or concern. My muscle mass, grip strength, bone density, and cardiovascular fitness are all exceptional for 83 years old specifically because rest days allow my body to rebuild stronger than before. Exercising daily without adequate rest leads to chronic low-grade inflammation throughout your body, accumulating micro-trauma and overuse injuries that eventually become serious, suppressed immune function making you vulnerable to infections, complete burnout and abandonment of exercise altogether, and paradoxically poorer fitness results as your body never fully recovers and adapts to training stimulus. The daily exercise mentality often does more harm than good for seniors. Exercise 3 to 4 days weekly with genuine intensity and effort, focusing on resistance training and cardiovascular work, and rest completely on the remaining days, emphasizing sleep quality, proper nutrition, and gentle movement like casual walking. Schedule rest days as intentionally as you schedule exercise days, treating them as equally important to your fitness and health. Stop exercising yourself into exhaustion, inflammation, and injury. Schedule rest days and watch your actual results improve dramatically. You now know my 5 so-called bad habits that modern science actually fully supports. Eating whole eggs daily, including the nutrient-rich yolks, drinking coffee regularly, taking afternoon naps, choosing full-fat dairy, and taking complete rest days from exercise. These aren't really bad habits at all, but rather evidence-based practices that mainstream health advice got completely wrong for decades. The research now clearly and consistently supports every single one. Don't let outdated, disproven rules keep you from habits that could genuinely improve your health and add years to your life. Which of these 5 habits are you already doing? Or which one will you start doing this week? Comment with the number because I genuinely want to hear which ones surprise you most and which you've been avoiding unnecessarily based on bad advice. If this video challenged what you thought you knew about healthy aging, hit that like button right now and subscribe for more evidence-based health information that goes beyond conventional wisdom and outdated dogma. Share this with seniors who've been following restrictive, outdated rules for years, because you might free them from unnecessary restrictions and actually improve their health and quality of life significantly.